Hold on, y'all. Just checking in again. This is March, February the 15th to 16th. This is Sunday. I normally get a late start on Sundays. That's the one day I get to sleep in. My Sunday routine is a little bit different because the gym doesn't open until 7. So I go there and I just do cardios on Sundays. It's a good time. I push myself on the elliptical. Just a 30-minute high interval type routine. So I'll run or go fast on about 5 or 6 for about 4 minutes, and then I kind of slow down for my fifth minute, and I do that for a couple of miles. It's a good time. I've noticed that it gets easier, just like this gets easier every time I do it. I'm finding my camera presence is better. I'm finding a lot of things are getting to where I want them to be. I'm finding out the things that I don't like, and I'm going to fix those. So everything again is just a process. I'm just looking behind me because I know I put up something that I think is fell down. So I'm going to fix that. But today, I don't really know what to say. I'm just wanting to get into, I don't really know what to talk about today, but I just wanted to be consistent. And I think we have those days where we don't know what's going on and we're just trying to figure it out day by day. I think that's life. Uh, and it's good that we don't always have so much on our agenda. I'm figuring that out too, that sometimes it's okay to get lost in boredom, and not really so much boredom, but just being able to be content with yourself. Uh, Again, I told you that I had an issue with not really substance abuse, alcohol. I used to love it, and I used to try to do it whenever I could. That was a problem with some people who drink. We like it a little bit too much, but I've figured my way out of that where um, I have a better life now. I'm happier now. People can tell you something. I've always heard that alcohol was a depressant. Never got it. I was like, I always felt good when I drank. I thought I was some other thing. Uh, and maybe I was a good person, but I'm the type of person who I guess who needed a coping mechanism, because I didn't feel like I fit in. Uh, and I was always using alcohol to fit in. And that's what I thought I did. I finally felt comfortable enough to be the person who I thought I was. And turns out it wasn't really who I thought I was. I just felt comfortable being around people who were different than me. And then I reacted. There's that song, Blame It on the Alcohol. Anything that I did during that period while I was with others, I could blame it on alcohol. And I thought that that was the joy of it. That was the joy of really not giving a shit, really about what other people thought. That is kind of freeing, right? But everything comes with a consequence because eventually you become that person who doesn't give a shit. You know, have you ever been in the store and you're just around people who you can tell they don't care. they don't they don't care how they come in. They wearing their pajamas from 3 weeks ago in the store. They smelling like 3 weeks ago. They smelling like dirty sweat. They smelling like alcohol. They don't care, and eventually that becomes who you become when you get addicted to things. You start one way or another. The fuck it start kicking in, and it's I used to bartend back in the day, and there was this guy I used to work with, and I started noticing things about people like him and other people who fit the description of alcoholics, and typically it's when you start noticing dents and dings in the car. Uh, it's very few of us can escape that. I escaped it for a while, but then I even thought about sometimes that some things happened to my vehicles, and it was okay. It wasn't that bad, It was doable. It was just a little dent or a ding, and then those things become acceptable. And that's how addiction is. It slowly lets things that aren't uh, showing the best of who you are become okay. You're okay with your breath stinking. You're okay with a couple teeth missing. You're okay with your clothes being wrinkled. You're okay with just these small little incremental things that you don't really realize that they're adding up to make you be viewed as somebody that doesn't care. And I think that's also you just being okay with who you are as an imperfect person. But why not, instead of just coping, why not just go do the things that it takes to fix those things? And I think that's what my lack of dependence on alcohol has done. Um, yesterday I was out. I went to a grocery store, and I was running some errands, and I was trying to eat something mostly healthy. And so I stopped by the deli, and I just, hey, let me just get some shaved turkey and a couple pieces of cheese, just so I could snack on something because there was nothing really around. It was just something to eat. I had a couple bananas. And lo and behold, it was somebody. They were just looking at me. I'm like, why is this woman staring at me like that? And this woman, she had to look at me because I hadn't seen her in almost 2 years, and it was just how different I looked. And it was because maybe care has taken over, maybe something's taken over, and she was pleasantly surprised. So surprised that I had to ask her a couple times for both of the items that I ordered because she just completely couldn't uh, believe how much I had changed. And again, you don't know if that's for the good or for the bad. We're getting older, so but she was very pleasant with me. She said that she would reach out, and that was it was good. It's good to catch up with people. It's good when people can see a different version of you evolving, and people can see the better. And I could see the better in her too. She looked like she had been doing well for herself. During that she was working at a grocery store. Who of us are where we want to be at in life, and who of us are not maybe at a path where we're having to do something that we need to do until we figure out the next step. But it's always good to see transition, even if you don't see it within yourself. If you keep doing the right thing, if you keep making the next step, if you keep doing the next right thing, the next right thing happens. And it doesn't always come in the form that you think it does. It doesn't come in, you want to be the CEO of Microsoft next week. Maybe it doesn't come like that. Maybe you have to go be the chief janitor at Microsoft. Maybe you have to start from the bottom of your expectation, and you need to start somewhere. So humility is definitely a part of addiction. So either way, it was funny and it was good to see that. And it's good to see evolution. It's good to feel evolution. It's good when other people notice it in you. So don't lose hope in the fact that things take time. Life is time. Life is figuring everything out. Life is about fixing everything. Life is about finally finding energy. Life is finally embracing who you are. Life is so many things that sometimes we take for granted, and I know that's something that I did. I'm finally able to embrace me as a person, and I hope that this message finds somebody who needs it, so that you can find who you are. You're not necessarily going to start this thing where you want to. Sometimes you got to let all that drama, that other things that you want, just fall behind you just for a little bit. This life is going to go on, and maybe it's going to go on at the pace that you need it to. Maybe you're going to learn some lessons that you need to learn. Maybe you're going to face some fears you need to face. Life is letting go of that coping mechanism, and I'm so glad that I did. And I have an upcoming trip back home. It's kind of scary, but I'm going to do some things that I haven't done in a while and see some people I haven't seen in a while. But I'm pretty sure that I've changed as a person. So the way I'll go about, and I'm kind of curious to see how I'll look at some of these things now. So either way, that's all I have to say today. Uh, if you find this interesting, or you want to keep on following, see what happens within these things that are going on, or maybe this gives you some encouragement, just hit like or subscribe, and come back again tomorrow. I shoot every day. Have a good one.